Okay, so my wife just told me we can do a whole video and then upload the video. I'm new to this YouTube stuff. And upload the whole video so it could be longer. So that makes more sense because now we get to spend more time with y'all and talking about what we need to talk about. So when we left off, we were trying to figure out how often, like she said, do you do date night? We do date night basically like 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
And then when the weekend come, we do another too.
And why do we do that, babe?
So why we do date night so much? Because when you go out for some reason, when you're out and you're amongst other people, you know, the vibe is different. You interact with each other, but then you can interact with other people, and you know, it just becomes more fun. More fun. Use the word fun, because if you sit at home and you interact with each other, sometimes couples that have been together for a long time, they get bored with each other. And what they do is they sit there, she's on her phone, he's watching the TV, and you know, it's not too much communication. And you're not going to sit at the table and eat together. Sometimes
some people do. Don't say that.
Sometimes they do. But we're going with the majority that don't. the majority that do, they're probably not interested in couples therapy because maybe they're good. But the people that don't, like when we make dinner, sometimes we sit at the table and eat. But even when we sit down at the table and eat, she's on her phone, I'm on my phone.
Yeah, we've never really been like dinner time, table set, let's eat type of family. Even with the kids, like when we make dinner and the kids, okay, kids, the food is ready. They come downstairs, they sit at the table and eat. And sometimes we'll sit at the table. Sometimes we'll be like either on a couch or something like that because we have open concept type of living. And we're not really
paying each other any attention.
In a sense, which is bad, and we're not happy about that.
But when you go out to a restaurant, you pay attention to each other, because in a restaurant, a lady should have what you call restaurant etiquette. We got to see if you ask your wife. Well,
that's
I'm
a topic for another discussion.
I'm gonna wind up telling you what it is.
Right, that's a topic for another video.
Restaurant etiquette means a lot. No, but because I got to tell them what it is.
Why do you have to tell them? You have to, okay.
If I don't tell them, how they going to find out? Restaurant etiquette is when you go to a restaurant and you sit down, the lady sits down first. The man normally sits down after the lady sits down. So what happens is the man sits down and he faces forward. So when the lady sits down, she does what the man do, which is face forward. So now when you're facing forward, you're looking at everything in the restaurant other than each other. So restaurant etiquette is when you come to a restaurant and you sit down, you're supposed to face each other. Because when you're in a restaurant, you're on a date. So when you're on a date, you're supposed to focus in on each other.
Right. But most tables are facing one another. So when you say that, you mean when you sit at the bar, because we usually sit at the bar. We don't really sit at a table most of the times. We sit at the bar. So you know how the bar seating is like this. So he's saying that, you face them and you talk to them.
When you're sitting at a table,
not necessarily.
When you're sitting at a table, you're sitting across from each other. And most of the time when you're sitting across from each other, you're like this. So
not necessarily, babe. Some people don't do that. Some people put their phones down and pay attention to the other person.
Those are the people.
So we're gonna ask.
Those are the people that's not in therapy.
Well, we did say in our intro that we were listening to them too, right? So when they comment, we're gonna communicate with them too. So
right. So maybe y'all can say
this?
something that we don't know. Maybe we're wrong at something.
No, we're not wrong. This is just how we do it, and some people do it different. We're not wrong, just different. So
how do you interact when you go out?
With your significant other when you go out.
Do you sit at the table? Do you bring out your phones? Do you sit there? Do you look at each other? Like how do you interact with each other in a restaurant?
I think that's a great question.
How do you interact with your significant other in a restaurant compared to how you interact with each other at home sitting at the dinner table?
Or just at home, period.
No, we're talking about dates. So we're talking about having dinner, communicating with each other. How does it work for you at home? And how does it work for you going out into a restaurant? So we're going to deal with that. And
we also like topics too. You guys can also put in the comments what you guys want us to talk about. What would you like for us to, comment on? So also leave in the description, in the comment box, some suggestions that you guys want us to talk about, and we'll definitely visit them.
So for right now, let's talk about the communication with going out, having
body
dinner,
language.
Body language, having dinner at home, having dinner in a restaurant. How do you do it? How do you do it at home? How do you do it in a restaurant? So put something in the comments. Let us know. And we're going to talk about it on part
episode
3.
This is episode.
We did an episode 1.
Oh, yeah, we did a shorts.
And then
so
2.
I guess, yeah. So this is
episode 3.
Well, episode 1 was the shorts introducing the topic about date night, which we're talking about now. So I guess this is episode 1.5. If that's
Whatever.
such a thing.
Let the lady be right. Happy wife, happy life. Okay. See y'all in the comments.